You are listening to Thoughts of the Week.
Right now, we're going to talk about Black Wall Streets, not just the Black Wall Street, Black Wall Streets with the S. All right. So, and it's titled Black Wall Streets. All right. At the turn of the 20th century, Black Americans had thriving business communities across America. Two of the largest and most successful Black business districts, called Black Wall Streets, were located in Durham, North Carolina, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Following the Civil War, Blacks' sense of unity, independence, and segregation forced them to build communities, support Black-owned businesses, and create their own employment opportunities. All right. I'm going to read that again because that's very important. And it looks like that we need to start doing this same thing or something similar to it today. All right. So again, following the Civil War, Blacks' sense of unity, independence, and segregation forced them to build communities, support Black-owned businesses, and create their own employment opportunities. All right. Durham had the first Black Wall Street, which was, and it wasn't Tulsa. See, Durham had the first Black Wall Street, which was the role model for Tulsa's. The city had over 150 thriving businesses, including a number of Black banks and national insurance companies, which boasted more than $200 million in combined assets and employed a large number of Black citizens. The Great Depression of the 1930s caused white business failures all across America. Yet, the Black-owned Mechanics and Farmers Bank in Durham boasted that it did not lose one Black business during the Great Depression. Imagine that. All right. If the Great Depression could not destroy Black businesses in Durham, what did? Durham was killed off by social integration. There's that integration thing again. A lot of people used to think that integration was such this big thing, and I talked about it in a prior podcast, that a lot of Black people got the idea that if you have a Black business, let's say, for example, that's selling cars, and then you have a white business selling the same similar cars, all the Black people want to go over there to the white company and get the cars because they think their cars, the white company cars, are better. So that's what that integration ended up building. And again, what destroyed the Black Wall Street in North Carolina and Durham was the social integration. All right. The second largest Black Wall Street died a different and more violent death. In the early 1900s, Durham's Wall Street inspired Black entrepreneurs in Tulsa to build a similar business district. By 1920, they constructed numerous factories, hotels, transportation companies, theaters, restaurants, grocery and clothing stores, and retail outlets. Fine residential housing and professional offices for Black doctors, dentists, lawyers, and accountants lined the streets within the Black community. Blacks in Tulsa, Oklahoma, were actively practicing group economics. Very, very powerful word, group economics. All right. So again, Blacks in Tulsa, Oklahoma, were actively practicing group economics, just like whites and ethnic immigrants. Excuse me. So again, Blacks in Tulsa, Oklahoma, were actively practicing group economics, just like whites and ethnic immigrants. However, Tulsa's white citizens who had subordinated, exploited, and segregated Tulsa's Black citizens were envious, were jealous of the prosperity Blacks enjoyed from practicing group economics, doing business with their own people and making their money bounced 8 to 12 times within their own communities. White envy was subdued racial hate, an incident in which a 19-year-old male accidentally stumbled on a jerky elevator and brushed against a white woman proved to be an incendiary event that gave whites an excuse to riot and destroy Black lives, property, and businesses. All right. For nearly a week, white mobs and thugs robbed and ransacked more than 1,400 Black homes, schools, churches, and businesses. Local white police watched the rampaging white mobs attack defenseless Blacks. White pilots from a nearby Air Force base dropped turpentine bombs on Black homes, businesses, and churches. So that's like the real first air bombing that ever occurred was the Black Wall Street. All right, on Black people. All right. So again, white pilots from a nearby Air Force base dropped turpentine bombs on Black homes, businesses, and churches. At the riot's end, whites had lynched and shot nearly 600 Blacks. Tulsa's Black Wall Street had been totally destroyed. During the following year, the surviving Blacks lived in tents donated by the American Red Cross, while whites brought the burned out or abandoned properties at bargain prices. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Whether by the hands of white rioters in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or integrationists in Durham, North Carolina, Black America has yet to recover from the economic losses of slavery, Jim Crow segregation, and its two Black Wall Streets. All right, I'm going to read that one again. Whether by the hands of white rioters in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or integrationists in Durham, North Carolina, Black America has yet to recover from the economic losses of slavery. So reparations is in order, Jim Crow segregation, and its two Black Wall Streets. All right.